Everyone.
All right, everybody, how we doing? Appreciating your database is the topic for today. And, in the dynamic world of real estate, it's so important to cultivate and maintain robust client relationships. It's like one of the primary avenues to success. So today we're going to jump into lots of different effective strategies, from personalizing follow-ups and touches to leveraging social media. And these things are going to show you how to create, meaningful connections that will, essentially drive referrals and establish your reputation as a trusted real estate professional and a trusted brand in your marketplace. So let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to discuss today is personalized follow-ups. And I don't know if they're really follow-ups, they're touches. So personalized touches, personalized contact, reach outs, whatever you want to call it. So, regularly reaching out to your contacts or your clients or your past clients or friends, family, is crucial for maintaining a very strong connection. So when you send personalized messages, making phone calls, texting, writing notes, it shows that you genuinely care about how they're doing. So be sure to ask certain questions about their family, how their hobbies, what they're doing, their interests, their kids, their pets. It's not just real estate needs. So like building this personal rapport will definitely foster trust and loyalty. And if you have a CRM, let's say you're using Command, first one that pops to mind, I wonder why. There are areas in a contact that allows you to add things like that, like a pet's name or a grandmother or a kid or whatever, a kid's birthday, whatever it is. Those things are important to bring up. It shows that you remember. So regular and consistent communication, but not spammy, right? So maintaining strong relationships with your contacts definitely requires regular and consistent communication. So make it a habit to reach out at appropriate intervals, whether it's monthly, quarterly, annually. I suggest more than annually. But consistency demonstrates your commitment to the relationship. So I always would reach out on holidays. There's always a holiday, whether it be a national holiday or a fun, silly holiday, like National Cookie Day or National, Pizza Day or whatever. Reaching out on holidays is kind of a no-brainer, right? You want to also diversify your communication channels, which means, do it in different forms. Emails, phone calls, those are very convenient, but don't underestimate the power of a handwritten note. Anytime I've sent a handwritten note to a past client, I've always received a handwritten note back, which is pretty awesome. So those physical aspects of appreciation can have a very significant impact and stand out in a primarily digital world. There's a platform that I love to use, which kind of integrates technology into handwritten notes. It's called Handwritten, and it's HANDWRYTTEN, handwritten.com. And you write handwritten notes, but you use your computer, and it actually puts pen to paper. If you're sending Thanksgiving cards to like 300 people, you can create one message that is personally branded, personally refers to them, so it puts their name, but the message is consistent across all of those 300 people, and it saves a heck of a lot of time. There's lots of different greeting cards to choose from, so definitely check that out if you don't want to sit down and write out 300 different cards. You also, like I said, remember personal details. So take note of personal details that you've just talked about in past interactions. So like if you call somebody and then you call them again 3 months later, if there was something that is notable that you talked about on the call 3 months ago, write that down and bring that up again, right? Because recalling those details and mentioning them in your follow-up shows that you're paying attention, shows that you care, and people feel good about that. Also, in addition to personal inquiries, you want to obviously provide value. You are a real estate agent. I don't think, you need to go overboard with like market stats and all of those things. but definitely offer something of value. So, home improvement tips, local events, etc. Because providing that helpful information will continue to solidify you as a trustworthy source and not just someone who calls every 3 months to see how little Timmy is doing. You know what I mean? So those are some tips for you there.
Hey, Nick, can you mention that the name of the company for the handwritten cards again? Somebody had asked in the chat.
Oh, I'll just type it in the chat.
Okay, perfect. And I also want to let you all know, if you didn't see my comment, there is a service in the marketplace and Command where it's triggering to remind that service to send a thank you card based on the tag that you add to the contact. So go into Command, check out Marketplace. I don't know the name off at the top of my head, but just type in thank you cards and you could find a service in there. That's something that was new, that was released this year.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about gift giving, because who doesn't like to give gifts, right? So sending a small gift, even if it's for a special occasion, doesn't necessarily have to be for your client's birthday. It just provides that personal touch. And it also reminds your client that you care and that you remembered something, like graduation days for a client's child or kid is a huge deal. So even sending a little graduation gift for that child or grown adult is so special. So think about those sort of instances where you would have wanted to receive a bouquet of flowers. I know I can think of one, right? But if somebody like your realtor remembered that, that is like, wow. So can you provide that wow experience to leave that lasting impression, to just show that you have you value your friendship and our relationship with that person? Another thing that you could do is host a client appreciation event. And I know you all know that, but it goes a really long way, especially if you do it consistently every year. Make it a big blowout event just to provide a big thank you for your clients to choosing you as their realtor, right? And so hosting those sort of events can just kind of tie in the service that you offered. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get referrals. And maybe you have a referral sign-up sheet, right? So think outside the box of what you can do for hosting a really nice client appreciation event so that it really touches on those personal levels. Think about what who that database is that's going to be showing up, and also offer some sort of holiday giveaway or educational workshop. You can kind of tie all of that in into that event. And, it's not just about providing entertainment. It's also just giving out gratitude and acknowledging them and giving them personalized thank you notes during those events. And again, consistency over time will get you the results that you want. So host those appreciation events regularly so that they feel super connected to you. And I know that you and I, Nick, have interviewed a couple mega team leaders, and they're doing it at such a high level that they want their database will be like, when is the next event? I can't wait and I'm looking forward to the next one. I have a personal client that does that every year here in Colorado, and his wife makes these amazing decorations for the event. She's super talented, but because they put so much thought process into the event and the detail of it, people want to come. People ask when it's going to happen next. So go all out, be creative, have fun with it, and just think about what your clients would appreciate and what you think is fun.
Yeah,
and
there's
then,
there's a couple. I want to get to some of these messages in the chat. So Phil said he gave away 900 pumpkins yesterday, which is crazy.
Wow, that's awesome.
But that's
Phil.
awesome. That's like a pie day, like Pie Day is super popular, like giving pies out on Thanksgiving or Halloween or whatever. I think my mom is on the call, Roberta. We were just talking about this the other day. I was just talking about with her the other day when she started in real estate, many decades ago. I won't tell you how many decades, Mom, but she had she did a New Year's party, like a New Year's Day party. And like her first year in real estate, which was, like I said, many decades ago, she only had 12 sales. So she had 12 people there with 100% attendance. But then 20 years later, there were 300 people. So like it grew to this, and everybody, and then one year she didn't do it, and people actually called like, hey, you're not doing, you didn't do your party this year. Like it became this thing that everybody expected every year. So you can do a giant one at the end of the year or the beginning of the year to celebrate, or whenever you want, or you can do little ones, throughout the
Yeah.
year. It just depends.
I mean, I suggest to just save up every check that you make or every deal that you close, set a small percentage aside for that client event and then plan on for the end of the year.
Yeah, Phil says that we did it as a group in the office, making it very inexpensive. Okay, that's cool. Pie pickup is next. Last year, 1,100 frozen pies that people cook. And Jose says that he's doing a raffle to host an Eagles tailgate party. What I think is cool about Pie Day or giving away things like that is you could do a couple different ways. You can have people come to you, to your office, or you could drop by their house. Either way, like it's face to face for a few minutes and you're giving them something and it doesn't cost a lot of money. I think you can get pies at Costco for like $6, right? So, don't, there's no need to spend a fortune. But anyway, so Ian's asking if we can go over tag strategy, some basic tags that you should be using for your database if you're using Command. Do you want to talk about that, Leslie?
Basic tags. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a really cool option in Command where you can actually add a custom field inside every single contact. So if you were to create a custom field for a pie party, this is a perfect example. You can ask your past clients what their favorite flavor is, right? So whether that be pumpkin, pecan, those like typical Thanksgiving pies that we know about, right? And you could create a custom field for that so that every time you want to give away a pie, all you have to do is pull up your group. You can create a smart view out of that particular group of people by tag, and then you can go through and search by, and then you can go through and look for the custom field to decide whether if they want pumpkin or pecan. It's really cool. So the use of custom fields are great for that, and also just tagging. So again, like tagging is where it's at in Command, because then it identifies and you can get really specific with those tags. And then tagging, of course, is also something that you could filter search by. Custom field, you can't filter search, but it is a great way to just add more information.
So a great way to save money, my mom posted in the chat, which is a really good idea. Do a potluck. That way, like, you don't have to spend anything. No, I'm just kidding. Like, you could make something, but then everybody brings stuff. That's, so inexpensive.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? People love potlucks.
Yeah, but at your house, if you can do it at your house, if your house is big enough and you have people who respect the environment they're in.
Or like maybe in your office, if you have a big training room that's nice, you could do it.
Here's a big one, because I did it New Year's Day. People were tired out, but they all brought their kids. I invited children. That's something a lot of people don't do. And people would come in between 1 and 4, 1 and 5, and they were just so ready for something, macaroni or, desserts, and having the kids as part of it, I think was one of the reasons it was in a class by itself.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's some good ideas to like make it inexpensive. Phil also says that they do 6 pickup events a year and deliver some to people that can't make it. They charge one rate for all 6 or higher rates for agents that just want a single event. Okay, cool. And then they use smart plans and Command to send follow-ups. All right, awesome. Lots of good ideas to do it inexpensively. Let's move on. So obviously you want to provide valuable content. I talked about that before, but I don't think you need to go overboard, because like I'll talk about this later when we get into asking for referrals, but definitely share valuable real estate information through newsletters, social media, blog posts, offering tips and market updates, relevant content that helps you, get more positioned as someone who's an expert in the field. So, clients are going to see that you're knowledgeable. And when they think of something, anything, it could be a handyman or a landscaper. You want them to be the person. You want them. Okay. I'm trying to think how to phrase this. You want them to think of you whenever they think of something that they need. having to do with their house or real estate. So here's an example. So like Leslie, you know the Zimmers,
Yeah.
Trent and Carissa. Trent and Carissa Zimmer, they're a husband and wife team in Minnesota. They're awesome. They have a Facebook group. There's about 300 of their past clients in there. And, it's been organized and created so well that, people are going in there. Hey, do you guys have any, and they all know that they've all bought and sold homes with Carissa and Trent. So they're like, do you guys have a handyman? Do you guys have a landscaper? Who should I call for a roofer? So like, not only has Carissa and Trent become the go-to place, but their clients are going into this group over like a township group because they have this connection. They've all bought and sold with them. Okay, so let's talk about creating a referral program. So you want to. I always feel like people who have referred business to you, whether it's closed or not, deserve slightly more attention than those who don't, which doesn't mean you shouldn't pay attention to those who don't, but people who have referred to you, I think, should be more of a VIP level. But establishing a structured referral program that will reward clients for referring friends and family. You could do gift cards. You could do like organize special discounts at a specific local business, like a bakery or whatever. They get something exclusive, whatever it is exclusive. It could be, I remember seeing on a mega camp stage with one agent who had like this lending program where like they would have specific things for specific times of the year, right? Like, if it snows here in Michigan, so they have extra shovels or extra, whatever it is, extra beach chairs in the summertime. And like, they would send out this email to their database, much like an Amazon wish list, but letting their clients know that, it's summertime. If you need any of these, let us know. It's wintertime. If you need any of this, let us know. So instead of going to Home Depot to buy a new shovel, they would call this agent and say, hey, do you have any of those shovels? Right. So it's pretty cool.
I like that idea.
So,
can I just say too, like, I know here in Colorado, anybody here from Colorado, by the way? I know, and I know here in Colorado, like wintertime comes and we always run out of windshield wiper fluid or salt for the sidewalks. So that, to melt the snow. So if you could be that person before, hey, maybe you're the one that makes people run out, right? And so then you go and, give all these things that are like, oh my gosh, I was looking for this at the gas station and they were out and you solved that problem for me. Be that person.
Yep. I love that. So you want to determine the types of incentives you're going to offer. Maybe you'll have special mini VIP events, right? Like, what's going to be most appealing to your database? Maybe it's, I don't know what it could be. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Maybe it's a movie night, or maybe it's a special barbecue for a handful of people. You want to keep the referral program guidelines very simple. You don't want to like make it too complicated. Make them clear and straightforward. They should easily understand how it works and what they need to do. Avoid overly complicated rules that could discourage, participation, and so on and so forth. But very important, you need to pay attention to legal compliance considerations, right? Like some things you're not allowed to do as an agent. Like for example, and some things you need to look up whether it's legal or not. So, a lot of people like to do movies in the park or movies in your backyard. If you have over a certain amount of people, you actually need to pay a royalty. I know that a lot of these companies like Disney, especially if you have over 100 people at a movies in the park, you have to pay a royalty. I mean, listen, the chances of them finding out are slim, but if they do, then it's a heck of a lot more than that royalty they're going to charge you. And also as a real estate agent, make sure that you're not you're not giving away things in the wrong way, because there's lots of different rules and regulations that come with that. So legal compliance is big whenever you're doing any of these things. Don't be like, well, Nick and Leslie told me. Nick and Leslie also told you. No. Check and see what's good with your state.
Yeah, no. Good try, but no cigar here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about asking for referrals. I think, the one thing that comes up for me in this conversation about asking for referrals is you guys get like shy about it or you don't do it consistently. Don't hesitate. Just ask for referrals directly. We had this thing, Nick, when I was on the mega team when I first joined Killer, and it was like as soon as somebody said thank you, we were like, that was a moment.
Exactly.
Because you're already giving them that experience. You're like, wow, thank you. That's amazing. That's when you
Yep.
should be asking for a referral. So just kindly request, and then it's going to be an easy recommendation because you're already giving them that experience. And then they'll feel confident in that moment to give you somebody that they know because their experience with you was just that amazing. So again, the best time to ask for a referral is also during the transaction process, right? You all can be heroes in the inspection objection process, right? Like, let's not underestimate that time in that specific scenario. So do your best to always ask during those specific times during the transaction, whether that be during or at close. So again, everybody's excited at close. They're all popping bottles, champagnes, gifts, gift giving time. People are walking away excited. And then that's when you ask because you just changed their life. And I love this part too, is because when we have these kind of inner conversations that nobody really sees or hears, put them on social media, tag your clients so that they know exactly, their circle of friends know exactly what happened in their life, and make it like a success story. Share their testimonial so that you get engaged, you get some engagement and people comment and talk to you. Their friends see you and they're like, that person was really good at that situation with our friends. They just bought and sold a home with that person. Wow, we should go talk to them, right? So don't underestimate the presence on social media. And it's also important to showcase your expertise during this time. So perhaps you help them save thousands of dollars on that transaction, or perhaps you sold their home for over asking. So ensure that you put those nuggets, and even just being a little vague about it is okay because it sparks interest. So again, this is your brand and this is how you're going to be highlighting yourself. Just make sure that you're clear and concise about what you're up to and your expertise in that specific area.
Yeah.
And then lastly, show your involvement in the local community on social. If you all have been with us for about a few weeks now, you know exactly what we're talking about. Demonstrate your commitment to the area. And this can also help foster trust and basically just build your audience. So show the local races that you're attending, show the local farmer markets that you're supporting. Those sort of scenarios, put it on social. So
Love it.
Any thoughts about that, Nick?
No, I think you covered all of it.
Sweet.
So let's move on to the importance of attending networking events. So like, it's not just about, agent to client. If you're attending local networking events like, Chamber of Commerce meetings, industry gatherings, expanding your professional network is super important. So building relationships with other professionals that can lead to referrals and partnerships, both ways. And obviously, remember to follow up with those people as well. You may actually want to create a different type of newsletter for them because it's more of the business aspect as opposed to like a client aspect. And this is really important. So, it obviously should go without saying, we got to mention it. So you have to offer exceptional service because that's your brand, right? So always go above and beyond for your clients, meet their needs. I can't stand when agents say, well, that's not my job, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a final walkthrough where, there's junk that the seller has just left behind and, we're an hour from closing. Like who I'm not going to let that stand in the way from 10 grand. You know what I mean? I will get my hands dirty. My mom can vouch for that. I'm not like agents that go, well, that's not my job. Okay, well, I'd rather have the $10,000 commission and throw away some garbage, to move this thing forward, as opposed to standing there with my arms folded saying, no, I'm not going to do it. So your clients will remember that. And like I said before, to many clients, your service is your brand. So focusing on this first and foremost, and the communication process during the transaction. There's no such thing as too much communication. You're never going to see a review on Zillow if someone's saying, "Oh, I worked with Leslie and she just communicated all the time. The amount of times that she told me something was happening was just like a lot. Like I always knew what was going on. I can't believe how much she told me. 1 star. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, nobody complains about over communication. I think we've said it a couple of times in our calls, right? But it's kind of funny and also true. So don't underestimate it. All right, let's talk about collaborating with local businesses. Something that I think gets forgotten a lot just because you all are so busy. But if you were to establish partnerships with local businesses in such a way, you're tapping into their database or tapping into your database, and it's also providing value. It's a win-win, like we say at Keller Williams, right? So identify complementary businesses that help you grow and also help provide the services that you think your clients really need. Example is mortgage brokers, home inspectors, contractors, interior designers, movers, insurance agents, and even local banks. So think about those sort of people that could help your clients along the transaction. I know some of you already do this, and yet continue to use the same people and or explore different partners, because that just expands your circle even more. And then establish mutual benefits within that partnership. So when approaching those potential partners, you want to emphasize the benefits of collaboration and also saying, I'm going to promote you if you promote me, and it's a win-win because I'm going to help you and you're going to help me. I mean, nobody's going to say no to that, right? So you can even think about some kind of value proposition to that partner, like, I'm going to create a Facebook ad and we have an exclusive partnership in Command. So I'm going to go ahead and create this Facebook ad that involves your business with me, and I'm going to land them here on this page to help us grow together. I'm going to give them your number to provide that service for you, and I'm going to do it for about a month. What do you say? Nobody's going to ever say no to that, right? So think about how you can even use like social media channels to promote or create a one-off Facebook event inside Facebook as well. It's just another example. And this will, of course, help your visibility on digital platforms. Be consistent over time with how often you're promoting it. This is just going to show the strength of your partnership and that you're a local expert and you're providing more value, right? And then, of course, make sure that you're considering any legal or ethical criteria around your area so that you're staying within those standards to avoid any conflicts of interest, right? So again, don't go off and say that, look, Leslie told me so. Make sure you do your homework, stay within your lane, and yet still promote other businesses in such a great way.
Love it. So just remember, it's not about transactions. It's not just about transactions. It's about lasting connections. So, implement some of these strategies that we talked about today. You're definitely going to elevate your business, your brand. You're going to foster a greater client loyalty. You're just going to become the go-to person in your market for all of your past clients. I mean, they say like 90% of buyers and sellers would use their agent again, but I think it's something like 30% don't, or no, 70% don't. 90% said they would, but 70% actually don't, because they never hear from their agent. So, keep these principles in mind, adapt them to your style, and, watch awesome things happen. There's no way your business won't grow by keeping in touch with people. There's just no way. There's just no way.
No way, Becky.
Yeah. Anybody have any final thoughts, comments, questions? If not,
go get them.
We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And this replay will be up on the YouTube channel within 24 hours. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.